Hello and welcome to Sarcastic Videos. Today I'm going to be talking about the movie After Porn Ends 2. It's a documentary about what happens to porn stars after they leave the adult industry. This is the second one. The first one was done in 2012. It was a little more amateurish. This one was done recently, 2017, and it's more professional, and it does seem a bit more well done as far as production value goes and editing and what went into actually making the film. They also don't include the really biased writer that was in the first one, which is I'm glad to see, because that guy definitely had some hang-ups about the adult industry in general. This is more open-minded. So the actors and actresses that they introduce, they just do like a quick intro in the beginning, and they talk about Lisa Ann, Georgina Spelvin, Darren James, Lynn, Johnnie Keyes, Brittany Andrews, Chasey Lain, Tabitha Stevens, and Janine Lindemulder. They do talk to more than they did before, but the segments are shorter and they spend less time in between the segments talking to like psychiatrists and things like that. They start with Lisa Ann, who was in the industry, got in through the usual way of stripping. She got famous because she did the Sarah Palin parody, and because she looks so much like Sarah Palin. And then she turned that fame into some serious radio show about fantasy football when she makes enough doing that she could retire from porn. And in between that segment, they talk to another actor. This is a transgender one named Venus Lux. It just like a brief little snippet about what she plans to do after retirement. And then they talk to Georgina Spelvin, who is famous for The Devil and Miss Jones. They talk a little bit about how she got into the work, and now she's kind of phased out of porn. She didn't really quit for a specific reason. It was more like she just found something better and left, and she was pretty happy about the business. So she didn't have any real qualms about leaving or being in it in the first place. And then they talk to a stripper, and again, it's more about what are you going to do after the industry. But she doesn't really, it's just a one-sentence snippet, really. Then they talk to Darren James, and he was famous because he, in 2004, he actually accidentally gave AIDS to a couple of actresses. So he left porn, and now he talks out against not having condoms in porn. So that's what he does now. He definitely has some regrets about not leaving earlier. But as far as that goes, he didn't really say whether or not if he would have got into it again, because, well, he does have AIDS and he doesn't know how he got it. And then they talked a little bit to a psychologist after that, and they really don't spend much time talking to the people in between the segments. Then they talked to Ginger Lynn, who was really famous for 3 years. She left, she came back. She didn't really like the way things were going, the way the business was working and treated women when she did come back. But she left, and she doesn't really have any regrets. They talked to Johnnie Keyes, who was a runaway as a kid. Talked to Brittany Andrews, who has a ton of websites and different niches, and she's just gone into lots of different. She went to film school. She became a DJ. She really has a lot of things on her plate, and she has no regrets about being in porn. She said that she usually uses the tools she learned doing that to in her other businesses. They talked to Chasey Lain, who's more negative about it because she wanted to be an escort too, and in the adult industry they don't really like you doing that because they think it devalues your status as a porn star, which is understandable the way they explain it. So she has more of a negative point of view of the industry. They talked a little bit to a psychiatrist. They talked to a former director, Bud Lee. Then they talked to Tabitha Stevens, who she was married. She was a bored housewife. She got into it. She kind of says the same thing about the porn industry going downhill. A lot of these are more of they liked it when they got in, but they think it's going downhill because the internet is devaluing what it actually takes to make a production, because anyone with a camera can do it now. So that's a pretty common statement throughout these actors and actresses being interviewed. And now Tabitha Stevens is happily retired with making art with her husband, so she's pretty happy about it too. Janine is another one who is more negative. She was pretty famous for a while. Like, she dated rock stars, Bret Michaels, and she got into some trouble. She went to jail for tax evasion because she didn't know what she was doing with her money. And she's in a custody fight. She was with Sandra Bullock and Jesse James over their kid, and became an addict. And so that story has a definite negative side to it. So overall, the stories are good. They're very short though. They kind of speed through them, so you don't really get as much impact as you did in the first one, where they interviewed less people. But I'm glad that the production quality is better. They do spend less time in between the segments talking to people. They do talk to a few. They talk to Ashley Adams, Danny D, Aubrey Gold, and Venus Lux, and Ariana Marie. Oh, and Chyla Ryder. Those are the porn stars that they talk to in between. And again, it's just like a one-sentence blurb about what they may or may not do after their career in porn is over. Some of them have realistic goals, some of them don't. You kind of have to judge for yourself. But overall, it's an entertaining movie. It's on Netflix now, so you can watch it there. I gave it a thumbs up. And as far as documentaries go, I give it a 7 out of 10. It's well done and it's entertaining. They just need to spend more time talking to individuals instead of trying to get as many individuals as they can, which is what they did. So if you like this video, like, share, subscribe, or all of the above. Thank you, and have a nice day.